when it comes to the AutoAlert platform, how do you and the managers keep this team using the tool? Because that's the key. You have to use it. So what is your go-to for your management to keep the feet to the fire?
We have a couple different things. My brother at a high level is always mining the lowest hanging fruit, sending them out across the platform and expecting answers. The managers, we ask it at the managers level, listen, pick 5 or 6 a day. Don't overcomplicate it. Pick 5 or 6 a day, pass it out to the team, and let's try to get one out of the 5 or 6. Let's get one a day. And then the service is a whole nother opportunity. Knowing who's coming in, who's in equity, having a game plan, being able to meet and greet those customers, whether it's an orphan owner and it's a new salesperson or it's an existing salesperson. For us, you just look at the fundamental elements of the product and you serve it up to us. Like literally, if you read, you can use AutoAlert. Like you don't take a lot of brain power to look at how you guys serve this data up, but it won't sell the car for you. Like it won't do that.
Yes.
So you got to take that data and you can go put it to work. And we do that. We do that in our company. We have some stores better than others, but it's an everyday type of deal.
Absolutely. If I could have you repeat that 16 times, I would. It's not going to sell itself. However,
No.
you are laid up. It's a silver platter. Every dealer in the country has been tasked with figuring out the service drive. It's not a secret. It is the conversation of every dealer meeting you're going to go to. What are you doing to win the service drive? Win the war on the service drive. What's some of the goals that you have at your stores? We know service drive is important, and you've already boosted how much activity you're already getting out there. What is the go-to strategy for a day in the life of service drive? Because we know there's going to be more customers.
To be honest with you, I don't think it's one shoe fits all. I think there's a lot of different ways you can attack the service drive. For us, we look at what you know in advance, you prepare in advance, right? So that's profound knowledge. We know who's coming in the day before. We know what situation they're in, equity, etc. And we know if it's an orphan owner or not. And then you gotta go meet and greet that customer. You gotta go meet and greet that customer. You got to review the information with them, maybe put them in a new vehicle as a loaner vehicle, whether they're waiting or not. But the more you prepare in advance, the easier that interaction will go. If you're doing it last minute, waiting for the phone to alert, run it out there, the customer's busy. To me, you won't be as successful. And trust me, I got a lot of stores that are very unsuccessful with it. I got others that are very successful with it. I mean, we're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But at the end of the day, I want one car a day. Like I want one incremental car a day with AutoAlert. If I do that times, 365 days a year, I'm going to sell a lot of cars and multiply it by 31 rooftops. There's a lot of business there. And to get that one car a day, you got to be kind of digging in all the buckets, not just service. You got to be looking at all the buckets. And if you do that consistently, I really believe that you'll find that one car a day.
Absolutely. You heard it from the man himself. Consistency is key. Nobody knows that better than you. With the way our platform's laid out, how easy is that conversation, right? Yes, you still got to show up. You have to be able to sell. You have to be able to just be able to, want to do the job. But once you say, all right, I'm going out to the service drive, I'm prepping before, how easy is that conversation? No matter the level of salesperson you are, whether you're new or you've been there 30 years.
Well, the conversation's easy if you put the time in to prepare yourself on what you're going to say. Like, again, AutoAlert serves it up. You still got to take that information. You got to go maybe run some numbers, double check the trade value, right? You want to get yourself grounded with the opportunity that you put a light on. You said, hey, a lot of people coming in today, these 3 people, you probably should take a really good look at. And if you do that, and you walk out to that customer with a game plan, you're in a much better position to earn their business than if you're doing it like a fire drill, right? And that's what we preach to our company. And again, some do it very well in our stores. Others struggle with it. It does come back to staffing. I always ask my manager, are you staffed to win? Like if you're trying to sell 150 cars a month and you have 6 salesmen, it is not going to happen. Forget AutoAlert, forget everything. You just can't handle the traffic, the natural traffic. So you have to make sure you're staffed properly. And if you're staffed properly, you're gonna have salesmen that have time on their hands where they have to go to work. And that's where a tool like AutoAlert can be so effective.
100%. Now, because of the what's happened over the last few years, there's a lot more options for our customers. How do you take advantage of that? Because some people see that as a, catch 22, but I think we can leverage the fact that customers want choices. Insert mobile services, whether you're going to get the customer's car for service or delivering a vehicle after you go through the process. Hey, the deal's done. They just want us to bring them the car, or they want us to come get their car for some reason. How much do you leverage some of that at some of your stores?
Yeah, I mean, I think mobile is important to some people. I think other people could care less about it.
Okay.
As far as choice goes, they've always had choice. Like there's no surprise that there's a plethora of models and options and makes. I think you have to find out what's important to that customer. Like, don't play God. That customer maybe care less about mobile service. He wants to bring the car in, doesn't want you at their home, right?
Right.
Some people would love that, would love mobile service. So, the needs assessment, how you approach your customer, how you understand what's important to them, what do they want to accomplish today, how they rate a car that they just drove on a scale of 1 to 10. They rated an 8. What would make it a 10? Is it just money? Is it color? I think all too often salesmen, play God, take shortcuts on the road to the sale, don't utilize the technology that's at their fingertips in many ways, and therefore don't sell the customer the car. I mean, you know, that's really what it boils down to.
Yeah, and we all have our struggles because the dealership's the wild west on a daily basis. You don't know what you're going to get. You just got to prepare and go for it.
Yeah.
So from your scope, right, we're still at the top end of 2024.